A recent Bankrate survey found that talking about money is more taboo than politics, religion, or weight. And when the holidays are upon us, the conversations with our family members can make or break the holiday spirit. Joining us today is Ted Rossman. He's a senior industry analyst at Bankrate. Welcome, Ted. Great to have you on.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So, Ted, during our tense political climate, such as the mayoral votes and electorals and current government shutdown, why has money outranked politics and became the more taboo subject?
It's really interesting, isn't it? Historically, we've been told you're not supposed to talk about politics and religion and your weight, and it's just impolite to bring these things up. And it turns out that money is actually a bigger taboo for a lot of people. Many people feel ashamed about the way they handle money, whether they have too much debt or not enough savings or their salary's not high enough. It's just really hard for people to talk about this. I would argue that we should bring money talk out of the shadows, especially with people close to us. For instance, about 2 in 5 people who are married or otherwise living with a romantic partner have kept or are keeping financial secrets from that person. That's someone that you need to come clean with. If you have secret debt, secret savings, secret spending, it's best to acknowledge that sooner rather than later. The secrets can be hurtful and they can undermine trust, but it's hard for people to talk about this.
And why is it so hard to talk about these secrets with our close family and friends?
A lot of people feel ashamed about the way they handle money. Gen Zers are starting to break down some of these stereotypes, which is a good thing. They're more likely to talk about their salaries and their debt and things like that. Sometimes it's because this group is just more open. They're the social media share everything generation, right? But some of it goes deeper than that. There's a social justice take on talking to friends and coworkers about your salary, because that can potentially break down stereotypes like the gender pay gap. Things like student debt have become a lot less stigmatized because that's a shared burden that so many in that generation have. So they're more open to talking about that. We see evidence that people are talking about money earlier in romantic relationships, even on the first few dates, maybe talking about things like your credit score or your salary or your budget. We're seeing some changes here.
So for those who can't open up about their money struggles, what are your tips for opening up and talking about these issues?
I do think it's important to talk with at least the people closest to you. I'm not saying you need to blab all of your financial details to everybody, but your spouse maybe is somebody that you really need to share this information, or close friends, parents, siblings, maybe even your adult children. Enlist some support. It doesn't need to be everybody on this list, but sometimes it helps to have somebody cheering you on. If you're on a debt payoff journey, maybe someone has advice that can help, or everybody has that friend who's always suggesting pricey dinners out and entertainment events, and that stuff may be fun, but it's kind of like putting a bunch of unhealthy food in front of somebody who's on a diet. Sometimes when you share this sort of information, it can help people to help you, whether that's cheering you on or suggesting events that fit within your budget. Maybe you set expectations around the holidays. You talk to your family and you say, hey, do we need to buy for everybody this year? Or could we just buy for the kids? Could we pick someone's name out of a hat and buy for one person instead of the whole extended family? You may get some heads nodding in agreement, because for a lot of people, money is tight these days.
You talked about family members and buying for everyone, and we're going into the holiday season with Black Friday coming up. What is your advice for helping us save on our spendings and also give love and happiness for all of our family members?
Well, hopefully your family doesn't want you to be in credit card debt either. The average interest rate is 20%. For some people, this debt sticks with them for years. So it can make sense to be open and just early on set those expectations about maybe the budget's going to be less this year. Maybe you buy for fewer people. Maybe you even set a challenge like, hey, can we find the best gift we can for under $20? It may be corny to say it's your presence that's the present, but it is true that for a lot of families, it's the getting together that's more impactful than what you end up giving. Many people are also sourcing things secondhand, whether that's through online means or in-person thrift shops. We see a lot more people doing homemade gifts, and you don't need to break the bank to celebrate the holidays. You definitely don't want to be paying off this Christmas a year from now. That can be the reality for many people who are carrying credit card debt from month to month.
You talked about Gen Zers and even millennials who we have currently. We look at social media a lot for our advices. And what is your advice for those who obtain advice from online platforms regarding their financial debt or situations and financial advice from online?
Well, don't believe everything you see on social media, that's for sure. There can be a lot of pressure to overspend, too. A lot of times people are portraying unrealistic versions of themselves, or maybe they're only putting the good stuff on and it looks like a fancy trip and a perfect outfit and a great restaurant meal and a great time at the concert. And you don't know, though, did that person go into debt to get that? Are their means maybe just different from yours? You don't want to fall into that trap. We see all too many people engaging in this kind of impulsive spending. Sometimes these platforms encourage it, too, and you can shop right in the app on TikTok and Instagram and other platforms. One idea, too, is to set a waiting period. Maybe you wait 24 hours, you sleep on it before you come back and hit buy, or you unlink your credit and debit card information so you're not incentivized to do that really quick one-click order.
Ted Rossman, thank you for these great tips, especially with holiday season coming up.
Of course, thanks.